Just another incident. 7 cops down, 4 permanently. A few more hours and we might have had help. Too bad the gangs got us first. Nearly 2 weeks now since we'd wasted Nanosoft's cruiser. The corporate war was finally over, but it had ripped the colony wide open, and the problems just kept on piling up. Sure, we'd beaten the corporations, but we'd taken a pounding in the process. Small pockets of Nanosoft resistance had gone underground, occasionally popping up for some payback. But the big problem, the one getting bigger by the day, was the crime syndicates. These suckers had picked up some serious firepower during the war. Now they were taking advantage of the situation. Big time. What was left of the government police was just too strung out to cope. Recruitment wasn't doing too well either. No real surprise there. Peace doesn't come easy on Callisto, and a G police officer rarely lives to draw a pension. Fortunately for us, Commander Speak's request for assistance had finally been answered. The cavalry had shown up in the shape of a small Marine strike force. 3 ships were deployed in low orbit around Callisto. A special prosecutor, a guy named Marmont, was with the strike force to investigate the whole twisted business. He'd already been in communication with Speak, demanding a full report, and it didn't look like they'd exactly hit it off. The commander had been pretty tight-lipped afterwards. Seemed like we weren't going to be showered with medals after all. Even an official thank you and some R&R would have been nice. Marmont was a real charmer. Hadn't even bothered to tell us what to expect. All we knew for sure was that Marine advance units would be hitting Dirtside soon. Speak figured the main landing force would probably spend some time fortifying the LZ before pushing forward to link up with us. Way too late for the people we just lost. But better late than never. What's left of the United Earth Marine Corps suffers from the same bureaucratic wrangling and cutbacks as the G Police. So the units they sent probably wouldn't be much better off than we were. With luck, they'd still be strong enough to swing the balance and help us clean up Callisto for good.
The arrival of the Marines is still some days away. Until then, G-Police must keep this escalating gang situation under control. All units keep an eye out for anything suspicious in Balkerdome. Surveillance reports recent gang activity in some sectors. You'll be briefed further from our TOC during your patrol. We are also taking the opportunity to assess and grade candidates for possible promotion to group leader status. As one of the most experienced pilots in the division, Slater will be flying wingman, reporting back on the performances of each pilot. Good luck.
We're on patrol again. Stay with your leader. Slater, you're with me.
Proceeding to waypoint 2.
Proceed with Patrol Alpha 2. We have a schedule to keep.
Alpha 1, this is Alpha 3. Sector 2, all clear. Proceeding to Sector 3.
We have a gang situation in progress. Downloading coordinates. Your wingman is down.
We're on patrol again. Stay with your leader. Slater, you're with me.
Proceeding to waypoint 2.
Proceed with Patrol Alpha 2. We have a schedule to keep.
Alpha 1, this is Alpha 3. Sector 2, all clear. Proceeding to Sector 3.
We have a gang situation in progress. Downloading coordinates. Destroyed gang units. Gang incident under control. Good work, Alpha Wing. Proceed to South Dome entrance and escort the G-Police transports.
Transport Group Gamma, we're here to escort you.
Alpha 1, this is Gamma 1. Good to see you.
Alpha Wing, we have gang units on an intercept vector. Defend the transports.
Alpha Wing, we're taking damage. You gotta keep focused.
Good work, Alpha Wing. Gang incident under control. Continue escort.
Thanks for the escort, Alpha Wing. Gamma 1 out.
Return to Sector House for rearming.
Proceeding to waypoint 3.
Alpha Wing, proceed to North Dome entrance and scan incoming transports. Target the transports and scan them for anything unusual.
Transport ID verified. This one's clean. Transport ID verified. Proceeding to next transport.
Illegal substances detected. Destroy that group.
Gang fighters incoming.
Alpha 2, return to base. Good work. Any G-Police craft in vicinity of Northeast Balker Dome, Epsilon 2 is in need of assistance urgently. Gang 2 has been destroyed. Return to base.
Gang activity has escalated to new levels. The nanosoft hardware they have acquired is technologically advanced enough to now allow them direct confrontations with G-Police units. The transports you protected were carrying valuable fuel rods, enough to power a small army for weeks. Consequently, we have increased the number of routine patrols wherever possible, providing sensitive cargo with a heavy escort. G-Police suffered heavy losses during the nanosoft war. Hopefully the imminent arrival of the Marines will tip the balance in our favor during this one. Gang-related incidents are now increasingly more frequent, with the members themselves becoming more and more ambitious. Intelligence reports even indicate that one gang faction has set itself up in Callisto's central main dome, where the G-Police headquarters is located. As a result, we are doubling the number of G-Police patrols in Asgard and surrounding domes. The gangs are to be dealt with using all force at our disposal. We need to mobilize our forces quickly and efficiently. You'll receive any tactical updates during your patrol.
We've had numerous reports of gang incidents. Follow your patrol coordinates, but expect trouble. Alpha 2, proceed with your coordinates. Your assistance is required. Alpha 1, continue as planned.
Confirmed, Control.
Hostile fighter incoming. Good work, Alpha 1. Rendezvous with Alpha 2. Downloading coordinates. Alpha Wing, relieve Beta Wing Patrol, downloading coordinates.
Taking hits. Requesting backup.